Hi lovelies, this is Kelly from Crafty Kellys at www.craftykelly.co.uk. So today I'm going to bring you a little fun Halloween project that you can do at home with the kids. It's just something a bit fun. I've used my scan and cut, but if you don't have one and you've got a die, or you can actually draw the pattern onto the back of the paper, that's absolutely fine, and cut it out with scissors, whatever works for you. So I've gone for this little bat kind of shape. He's really fun, he's really cool. I cut him out of some of the papers, and look at like what I was left with. How cool is that? I could actually put a piece of black cardstock behind that to create a piece for my scrapbook. It's just really fun. Likewise, like with the black, because I've done black as well, I could put a piece of patterned or coloured cardstock behind that for a page in a book. How much fun is that? So that's really cool. I really liked what I was left with. Oh, I dropped one. So I've cut them out, my little bats, in black, this really fun web kind of paper, some of the ones with the blue, some that I had left over from the project we done last time, so the pages. So I've kind of used my scraps as well, because I think it's a really good way to kind of utilise scraps. So I've got a whole box of goodies. We probably won't use them all, but I'll have them, and I love Halloween. So the other thing that you might need is a type of hoop. So I'm using one of these polystyrene wreath hoops. They're really good. I've also got some lace, and you can use lace, ribbon, whatever works for you. I got these from Hobbycraft. They were on sale for like £1.50 each. And I've had them sitting around for ages thinking, well, what am I going to use them on? And this is perfect, I think. And as it's Halloween, you know, decorate the house, make it fun. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to create a Halloween wreath with some beautiful papers from relative history, and it's just something, a bit of a fun project for you to do over the weekend if you've got the time and get the kids involved. You don't have to use bats. You could use circles, you could use, gosh, if you've got punches, the paper punches, whatever shape you want, punch it out, make a wreath. But the other thing that I'm going to be using is my trusty glue gun. So mine is heating up and ready for us to go. So let's get ready. Okay, so now I've got my bits together, camera facing down. We're going to start covering our little ring with some of this black and white lace trim. You don't have to be neat about this. I think that's what makes it really fun. And I'm gonna have to get my little finger thing for my glue. These are really useful if you use a glue gun. I think it's from Sticks 2, and it just, well, it helps to prevent the burn of your glue gun. And this is a pretty good glue gun, which gets pretty hot. And because it's a lace, obviously it's going to seep through, so do be careful. So I'm just starting off with that first bit. And what we need to do is, I've kind of ruffled it, and I'm just going to wrap it around. And I'm not going to be tidy, it doesn't need to be tidy. I want to see those creases, I want to see all of those kind of textures. I'm just going to work my way around the hoop. So sorry I keep on coming out of shot, but it's a little tricky. Take that off for a sec, because it's held on at the moment with that smidge of glue, which will hold it for me. I can just keep working it around until I get to the end, until I'm happy. I didn't measure how much I cut off, I just cut off a portion. But I'm never very precise about things I do. I'm going to whack some glue there. Get that back on. Give it a dab down. Obviously the glue will seep through, so just mind your fingers. I'm not going to worry about that bit sticking out at the moment. I'm going to do the same again, but I'm going to add both of these together because I want to get this kind of ruffled look. So I'm going to grab about the same amount of both off the reel. And I'm just going to crumple it. I'll get it so they're layered across each other, and then I'm going to just kind of crumple and fold it in again like I did before. So let's place some glue here. I'm going to probably place a little bit more, only because there's a few extra layers this is going to have to go through for it to hold. So I'm just going to hold it there for a sec. The glue's starting to go. Okay, and I can start winding. Oh, no, I can't. Yep. I get a bit eager. But if I pull that tight and that over, here we go, we got it. And I like the kind of white and black because it kind of reminds me of the, if you're a Tim Burton fan, Corpse Bride. Fantastic kind of cartoon for this time of year. Yeah, and for this type of year. I'm just going to keep going. I may have to get some more, but it's fine. Don't really like that bit, so I can go back in and edit it. So I've got a bit more white kind of tucked around it. There we go. Right, so I'm going to need a bit of glue on here. Hold that and I'll chop off a bit more. I get a bit eager. I can't help it. It's just in my nature. So how are people in the world of Facebook and our crafters doing today? Where I am in sunny Sussex isn't so sunny today, to be fair. It's kind of really dreary and rainy, and oh, my next door neighbour's roof is leaking, so we've got somebody trying to fix that at the moment because it's kind of coming into my son's room, which isn't ideal at this time of year, but hopefully it will be fixed and it'll be fine. But my seagulls are still screaming. My window's shut, so you might not be able to hear them, but I can. They are there, still straight across from me. It's funny how you get used to them. You really do when you live like somewhere like I do. But I do love it by the beach. I always harp on to people how much I love it. Right, let's start winding. So we're nearly done with kind of like our base covering for this, because we don't want like look at that. We didn't want it just like the plain. We wanted to get some of this kind of colour and texture in. So what I'm going to do, the last one, I'm going to squidge tons of glue on there. Hold it over. Give it a little rub down. Now I need to pop that with something on top of it for a minute so it squidges. Okay, so I'm bringing in some of these lovely bats. We also picked out some of the pumpkins as well because they're cool. We might, I'm not sure 100% yet, but I might kind of decorate it with these as well. We'll see how it starts to look, because sometimes you don't quite know until you get there. So I'm going to put a load of those on the desk, and I'm going to bring in some of my favourite kind of things to distress. So I should have got this tin out ready, shouldn't I? I've used these before, and they are like one of my go-tos. Always use them. Is these distress crayons. These are the metallic ones, and for me they are like such a useful thing to have in your arsenal of crafting bits. I'm going to go for silver, and what we're going to do is we're just going to add a smidge of this to just highlight these bats so they're not just black. So I'm not going to do it to all of them, but I'm going to do it randomly to some, just to kind of, so you can still see, because black on black you can't always see, like you can't see the image. So by just highlighting those kind of the edges of the piece, just makes it more able for you to see. With these ones, I would actually probably go around it in a black or something, because I don't think the silver would quite work. Maybe the gold or the brown. We'll see. But I'm just going to do a handful of these, so I will, you don't have to watch me do this, so I shall speed this a little bit up, and I'll see you once I'm done. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave this little trim that's hanging down, because actually I kind of like it, and I might add like a bow in there. What I'm going to start doing is with like my plain black ones, and I don't want to cover the wreath too much, but I want it to look full as well. So I'm going to start with randomly placing some of these black ones, and then we're going to start layering some of our patterned paper ones as well. So just like that, that looks really cool. And I'm just going to work around the wreath with this kind of like base layer of bats, interlocking them, like lifting the wings up because it gives it a bit more dimension. Almost done with this layer. Okay, so already that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now we're going to start bringing in some of our colours. So I'm going to place some of these over the top of the black ones, but just slightly offset them. Like that. So then I've got the shadow of the dark and the black. I'm not going to do every single, well, maybe. One of those things that you go, oh, watch it develop, watch it create this fun kind of for me it's about kind of layering up the kind of the papers and making it look kind of texturous. Doesn't have to be exactly on top, and we're kind of like alternating the colours, making it a little random. Okay, And I'm going to keep going until I feel like I've built up enough. So let's try and get some of these on without the black. With my scan and cut, when I cut these out, it literally took 5 minutes, if that, per sheet. If you have a cutting machine, they are just a godsend. And anyone, you know, I'm a scan and cutter because that's the first one that I came across. There are obviously so many other ones, the Silhouette and the Cricut, and you know, you've got to kind of find the one that's one in your price bracket and two that, you know, that works for you. Like some of my ladies in my classes prefer the Silhouette or the Cricut, and that's because that's what they're used to using. That's totally fine. But I love a cutting machine. I think they're fab. They are so useful. And they've even brought out like a mini one, haven't they, from the Cricut? Is it the Cricut? I'm sure somebody will say if I got that wrong. So look, already I've got this kind of like texture going through, and let's get some more around these sides. I'm loving the blue. I love this blue colour. Tuck him in there. Like this is like, obviously, like if you're doing this with the kids, you could do this. Just cut out some cardboard, an old what's it called? Old cereal box. Cut up an old cereal box, 2 circles, and then you could just glue with a glue stick and create something like as fun as this. And for the kids, you know, that's great fun to get them involved in this. These kind of things. So now I'm starting to replace some more of these black with the little tinge of silver, just so it breaks up the colour a little. You don't have to, obviously you can do whatever you guys want. Whatever works for you. I like the kind of the colours peeking through the wings and the patterns. And we are almost done with that. I'm not sure about that one, but it's stuck down now, so I'll have to be sure about it. So at the bottom, I'm going to take a little splidge of you and one of you. Just kind of offset the shadow. Get his wings up. So instead of a bow, we can pop him on. Give that a bit of a squeeze. There we go. And then I'm going to just cut into this. Make it a little bit jaggedy. There we go. Okay. So now, oh, one more, I think, just there. Get his wings up. So now I'm just going to go and kind of shape my pieces, because the glue should have set. I'm just kind of lifting and curling the wings in. I really need to get him up. And like as I do it, I can see if there's anywhere that maybe I want to kind of slightly edit or add anything. But I think I'm quite happy with that because it's really fun. And I've got all these fun bits for another project. I was thinking about adding a pumpkin, but I don't think he needs a pumpkin. So I'm going to keep those for another project. Only thing that I need to do now is to create a little hanging loop. Now I just threw away, which I shouldn't have done, a little bit of ribbon. And I'm just going to curl that up, add a bit of glue. So you could like add like a ribbon around it to tie, or a bit of string, but I don't want that hanging thing at the top as well, so I've just grabbed a scrap bit of the ribbon, gonna add that on to create kind of like your hanging loop, but I'm gonna have to hold that into place for a little bit. I am a bit careless with glue guns. I'm like, yeah, it won't hurt. But don't you try that at home. So now I've got a little hook there that will need to set. But how much fun is that with those beautiful papers? And like, you know, you could do all sorts, like Christmas ones with Christmas papers and, you know, whatever it is that you particularly like. But this has been a little bit of fun for you. And Halloween, so happy Halloween to all of you out there. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you all again soon. So this has been Crafty Kelly from www.craftykelly.co.uk, working with relative history to bring you some fun projects. Thanks again. Take care.